What if 5 simple decisions could completely transform your financial future? Most people never build real wealth, not because they don't earn enough, not because they're bad with money. They simply don't know which decisions actually matter the most. I've watched clients struggle for years. They're saving or budgeting, but they're still stuck. Then I've seen others make 5 specific choices and their wealth multiplied. Same income, different decisions, wildly different results. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to multiply your wealth using 5 decisions that take less than 5 minutes each. Here's what's interesting. One of these decisions seems completely backwards. It goes against everything you've been taught about money, but it might be the most powerful wealth builder on this list. But before we get into it, this is Brian. I've been a financial advisor for over 25 years. I'm also an author and certified health and life coach. And my goal is to help you save smarter, invest better, and keep more. In this episode, you're going to learn 3 wealth decision principles to remember to become smarter with money and an action plan to help you make better wealth decisions starting right now. So, decision number 1 is allocate, don't budget. Budgeting focuses on restriction. Don't spend this, cut back on that. Allocation focuses on intention. Direct money toward what matters most. Think of your income as employees. Where do you want them to work? 20% goes to future you, investments, retirement. 50% handles your necessities, your housing, food, transportation. 30% goes to life enjoyment, travel, dining, hobbies. Set it up once, automate the transfers, done. You're not tracking every coffee, you're assigning jobs to your dollar. So this leads me to wealth decision principle number 1. Don't count pennies, command dollars. When you shift your restriction to direction, money stops feeling scarce. It starts working for you. Quick question for you. What percentage of your income goes to the future you right now? Drop the number in the comments. I'm curious where everyone's starting from. So, decision number 2 is increase contributions by 3% per year. Not 3% of your portfolio, 3% of your salary. Here's why this works. Most people get raises, maybe 2 to 4% annually. That money disappears. Lifestyle inflation usually eats it. Instead, capture it before you see it. Automate a 3% increase to your 401k each January. You won't miss it, and your future self is going to thank you. Over 20 years, this single decision could add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your retirement. Coming up in decision 4, I'm going to share what most investors completely get wrong. It costs them decades of growth, so stick around for that one. Decision number 3 is asset location strategies, not asset allocation, location. Where you hold investments matters as much as what you hold. Tax inefficient investments go in tax advantage accounts. Think bonds, real estate investment trust. Tax efficient investments go into taxable accounts. Think index funds and growth stocks. Put your aggressive growth investments, your actively managed mutual funds, your growth ETFs, small cap, emerging markets, and international in your Roth accounts. You do this because in Roth accounts, you have tax-free growth and you want to maximize that growth over your lifetime. So why does this matter? Proper asset location can add 1 to 2% to your annual returns. That might not sound like much. Over 30 years, we're talking an extra 20% to your total wealth. Same investments, different placement, more money. Most people never think about this. Now you will. So this leads me to wealth decision principle number 2. It's not just what you own, it's where you own it. Location strategy turns good portfolios into great ones. This takes 10 minutes to set up, pays dividends forever. All right, we're halfway through. The next decision I'm going to share, this is the one most people get backwards. It feels right, but destroys wealth. And I'll explain it in just a moment. So decision number 4, avoid following the crowd. Stop chasing performance. This is the backwards one I mentioned. Here's what most investors do. They check which funds did best last year, then they buy those funds this year. It seems logical because you whip a winning horse, right? It's actually a wealth killer. Studies show top performing funds rarely repeat. Last year's winners often become this year's losers. When you chase performance, you buy high, then you sell low when it disappoints. You're always one step behind. Instead, pick a solid, diversified portfolio strategy, stick with it for decades, and ignore the noise. The crowd panics and pivots. You stay steady and grow. This is how real wealth compounds. So this leads me to wealth decision principle number 3. Wealth is built by staying, not chasing. The boring path is the profitable path. Remember that when everyone else is jumping ship. Before we move on, if you're finding any value in this episode, hit the subscribe button. And by the end of this video, you're going to have a step-by-step action plan that'll help you stop guessing and start building real lasting wealth. So decision number 5 is diversify globally. Most American investors have 80, 90, or 100% of their portfolio in U.S. stocks. The U.S. represents only about 40% of global markets. You're missing out on huge opportunities. That's a huge blind spot. International markets sometimes outperform the U.S. for years at a time. International is up 25 to 30%. Emerging markets up 28%, but nobody's talking about it. And I don't think that is just a fluke year of performance. When you look back at the 2000s, international stocks crushed domestic investments. If you were only invested in America, you missed those gains entirely. Global diversification isn't just about chasing returns, though. It's about protection. It's about strategy and diversification globally. When one region struggles, another thrives. You smooth out the ride. You capture more opportunities. 20 to 40% in international investments is what I generally suggest. That's a reasonable target. Your portfolio shouldn't just have a driver's license in the US. It should have a passport and a world map. Here's my pinned comment question for you. What percentage of your portfolio is invested internationally right now? Reply below. Let's see where everyone stands. All right, so here's my 5-minute challenge for you. Right now, today, do this. Log into your retirement account. Set up an automatic 3% annual increase. That's it, 5 minutes. Then set one more automation. Direct 20% of your paycheck to investments before you ever see it. 2 actions, 10 minutes total. You're already ahead of 90% of most people. So let's recap. 5 decisions, 5 minutes each. The potential to 5x your wealth over time. Allocate instead of budget. Increase contributions by 3% annually. Use smart asset location. Stop chasing performance and diversify globally. These aren't complex, and they work to accelerate your wealth building over time if you stay disciplined and follow a plan. If this episode helped you, hit the like button, drop a comment with your biggest takeaway, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming up in future episodes. Once again, this is Brian, the Wealth Decisions Guy, and I hope to see you next week.